We do have team coverage for you on Morning Blend Extra Shot. ABC 10's Becca Habiger is tracking some of the ways we can prevent more violence like this mass shooting from happening again. ABC 10's Marcus Allen talks to a business owner to find out how crime in the downtown area is impacting their business. First, though, ABC 10's Monica Coleman outside a center set up to help the families of the victims. Monica?
Good morning, Walt. I'm at the Family Assistance Center at Cal Expo. It opened around 8 o'clock this morning and will close at 5 p.m. tonight. And this is a place where the victims' families can come to get support. Also, people who witnessed that shooting, they can come here and receive services to help them get through this tragic event. But I do want to talk about how the community has showed up and showed out for the victims' families. Take a look at this video. I was talking with community leader Leah Shanks, and she told me that yesterday so many people in the community showed up and now she has a car full of food, drinks, and PPE supplies for the families who lost their loved ones. Shanks says it was overwhelming to see the people of Sacramento really show up for the victims' families. Shanks also explained the heartbreaking process the families are now going through as they have now been notified by the coroner that their loved ones were killed in the mass shooting. Shanks says many families are still looking for answers from authorities on who the suspect is and why they chose their loved ones as a target in the senseless act of gun violence Sunday morning.
You know, I think from the family's perspective, it's the fact that their loved ones were on the ground for 18 hours before they were actually picked up. There's something about dignity when we're talking about our loved ones that have been murdered.
Back out here live, Shank, it says it's extremely difficult, for families yesterday watching the coroner leave the scene of the crime, knowing their loved ones were there for hours as investigators had to go through hundreds of pieces of evidence, some saying that was the worst thing they've ever encountered. But they can come here again to receive services. This is opened up today, this morning, and will close again tonight at around 5 p.m. So we'll keep on this and be sure to update people in our community on how they can receive services during this tragic time.
I'm here at the intersection just a block or so away from where the shooting happened early Sunday morning. I want to show you, this is the tattered remains of a police caution tape tied to the strings of a bouquet of balloons here with words of love and encouragement. There are some candles over there. This is an area where there was police tape, and so folks who wanted to come and show their support yesterday could only come this far. And so you see candles, you see ways of people just trying to grieve as much as they can. You know, community leaders want to prevent this. More lives lost, more sidewalk memorials set up to remember the dead and support the injured. The details of Sunday's mass shooting are still coming out, so we don't know whether it was gang related, but community leaders say whatever the reason, gun violence is unacceptable and there are some practical steps to take. In 2018 and 2019, Sacramento saw 0 youth homicides.
That's something that we haven't seen in the 30 years that we've been collecting data.
Sierra Health Foundation President and CEO Chet Hewitt says youth programs like those operated with the support of the Black Child Legacy Campaign are not only supporting young people, but also building bridges that can help prevent violence.
These relationships later will be so important. So say you run into a guy at a party, a dance or whatever, and they're from a different neighborhood, and somebody's upset. But no, I played basketball with that dude at March Madness or Kings and Queens Rise, or we were in Black Boys Build together. So now we're building brotherhoods between neighborhoods and really just taking down those barriers and making sure we're trying to lower the crime rate here in Sacramento.
Advocates say continued funding for youth programs is crucial.
A great city takes care of its children.
In seeing a surge of gun violence, Sacramento isn't alone. Nationally, gun violence has gone up during the pandemic, according to the Gun Violence Archive, an independent data collection and research group. Some are working to combat gun violence through lobbying, like the national group Moms Demand Action. We spoke with a local advocate.
Actually, in the last couple of weeks, we have been talking to lawmakers across the state about supporting gun sense bills.
As community groups work to prevent gun violence, it's also important to support those who have already been devastated by it. The California Victim Compensation Board offers money to victims and their family for expenses related to violent crime, including medical bills, therapy, and funeral costs.
These medical bills are going to be very expensive. Just letting them know, like, hey, you don't have to go through this alone. There's a whole agency out there that can help you.
It is okay to not be okay. Make sure that those emotions that you are experiencing are not being projected out in an unhealthy manner, in a manner of retaliation.
You know, for people who are looking for a source for grieving together, tonight at 7:30 at Ali Yousefi Square, that's at 7th and K Streets, the community is coming together for a vigil. Mayor Darrell Steinberg will be there speaking, as well as youth community advocates. So anyone is welcome to come and mourn together. And now we're going to hear from Marcus Allen, who's been speaking with the downtown business community. Mark.
Yeah, I'm hanging out with Aziz, and Aziz is on the K Street corridor, as you know, Brasserie Dumont, and a horrible thing that took place yesterday. Not the first incident that has thwarted people from coming downtown. This can't be a good thing for you.
Well, we're shocked and devastated. You know, I don't really know if there's anything that's appropriate to say at this moment. But after everything that we've gone through here in downtown, when a specter of violence happens, I think it's just important that we continue to live and thrive, that we maintain ourselves as best as we can to continue doing business and providing for the community that we're in.
And truth be told, it's relatively early on a Monday, so you're not seeing a lot of people, but do you anticipate that the crowd will be back later? Your lunch crowd will pour in?
You know, I don't know what to expect. I have a couple of events booked today and they haven't canceled, so I think that there will be some life on the corner, but seeing as it is right now, it's pretty quiet. And if you were here a week ago, it would be bustling.
Oh, okay, well that says a lot. You know, we're only 2 blocks away. As you look down the K Street corridor, we're only 2 blocks from the crime scene. Bullets, in fact, riddled Sharif Jewelers. If you look, you'll see some of the boarded remnants there of them trying to recover. They too suffered when the protests were taking place through vandalism, and you've seen a lot over the last 2 years. So I guess all you can hope for is hope itself.
Indeed, we will always keep going. In the face of whatever adversity that we have, we're going to keep trying our best to continue to serve our community. And in the darkest times, we actually think that it's important to double down on that and be the support for the community when we can be.
Amen. Well, thanks for your time today.
It's a pleasure.
And I'm going to say it right now,
Pleasure.
you know, to celebrate and visit and patronize your local restaurants and businesses on K Street. When you feel safe, do so. We've got to bring Sacramento back.
Marcus Allen, we thank you very much. Hopefully his group will show up today as scheduled.